Hello, today we're going to talk about motorcycle camping, adventure riding, YouTube, social media, and things you might not want to pay attention to. So I'm going to finish packing up my tent from this camping trip, and then I'm going to get on the road and we'll dig into it further. All right, so there it is. I'm all packed up. I am ready to go. This has been a fantastic camp out. As you can see, the place emptied out pretty good. There are only a few people left, but what a beautiful spot to camp, a great time. So I'm gonna go finish this off and get on the bike. Well, here we are back along the Crooked River. Just finished up 3 days of camping, and I have had a fantastic time. It has really been amazing, and not just the riding's always fun, but what I really enjoyed about this whole thing is the time spent around the campfire with people, interacting with people, just doing all the camping stuff that makes this so fun, which is kind of going to lead into what this vlog is about. But let me talk a little bit about the camping. Now, this is a large group of people that get together from ADV Rider, and we might not cross paths in normal life any other way, but we can all sit around the campfire, enjoy being around each other, and not bring up the stuff like what you do for a living. That doesn't really matter. It's about the things that we all have in common. And so I had just a great time, and it's something that I wish that everybody got the chance to go do, or took the time to go do, or put in the effort to go do, which is going to kind of lead me into what I titled this vlog. And I hope you don't think it's clickbait, because it's not, and it's not a downer on anybody who does these types of videos. I think that those videos are great and they're needed, but I don't know that you need to pay attention to things like reviews and how-tos and how to go camping and what gear you need. And I think that it really gets you stuck in a spot where you go, I don't have everything that I need. I haven't done it, I need to figure out all this stuff, and you get this overload of going, these guys have $3,000 worth of camping gear and equipment. I'm not anywhere close to that. I can't do this until I have all of that stuff. And that's not true at all. You can do this with almost nothing. You just have to have a willingness to go do it and a little bit of a sense of adventure and go try it. I can tell you from my own experience that when I first started, I didn't have much money at all, and I had a raggedy old Honda and a used sleeping bag that was a hand-me-down from my parents. It was an old 1970s style one, and I had a really cheap tent, but I just packed it all on the bike as best I could. In fact, I even took my bed pillow, because I didn't have a camping pillow or anything like that, just stuffed it in a saddlebag and went on a trip, and I had an incredibly memorable time. In fact, you might have a more memorable time not having everything and not knowing what you're doing, because that's part of what makes an adventure is not what the terrain that you're riding across is, not how hard it is, not how light you can pack or how hardcore you can be. It's going to do something new and trying something new and experience something new. That's what makes something an adventure in my mind. And going out and doing something for the first time, not knowing what you're doing, can really give you that sense of adventure. I know I don't tell stories about the time that everything went 100% to plan. You don't sit around with your friends and go, let me tell you about the time that everything worked out exactly like I planned it. The stories that you tell and the memories that you have and the ones that you want to tell people are the times when things go a little bit different than you planned, and you have to overcome, you have a little bit of adversity, and that's what makes an adventure in my mind. Let me give you an example of, I went camping sometime a number of years ago, and even though I had pretty nice stuff at that time, I forgot my tent poles, and I ended up buying a $30 children's tent at the first place I could find to buy a tent, and I used that for the entire trip. I have waterproofed my kitty tent. Somehow, I hope. We'll find out. And that's really all you need, is a tent to keep you dry-ish,
sleeping bag to keep you warm if it's going to be cold at night, and everything else beyond that is just luxury items and a matter of what you want to bring along. And don't get caught up on it. Don't get sucked into all the Instagram and social media and Facebook posts that say you've got to have all this gear. Watch the top 10 things you need, because you really only need a couple that are going to keep you alive, and then the rest of it's all personal preference. And if you get stuck on the things that you don't have or the things you think you need, it can hold you back from ever going and having that adventure to begin with. And the important part is just that you want to go have that adventure and you want to go do it. And I encourage everybody to go do it. I've had great times, whether it's solo or especially with a group like I've been on this last weekend, where we can all sit around the campfire, and that's a great way to start too, because there's people there to help you. If you forgot something, if it pours down rain and you need a tarp, somebody's going to have that and they're going to help you out. So that's always a good way to start. But I'm going to start covering some ground here, so let's get riding here and we'll pick this up in just a little bit. And just like that, we are across into the mountains and the trees and the forest now, working my way back home. So I hope that if anything you take away from this is to go have an adventure, go try something new, whether it's a 5,000 mile trip or whether it's 50 miles to someplace you haven't been close to home, or trying something you haven't done before, maybe going motorcycle camping for your first time. And all you have to do is have a little bit of a sense of adventure and a willingness to go try it. You don't need anything more. You don't need gadgets. You don't need the right motorcycle. You don't need any of that. It's really all just a willingness to do something a little bit different and give it a try. And I'm popping up another video that you might enjoy for a little bit of inspiration on an adventure that you might go take. And I'm going to give you a little footage of Mount Hood. But until the next time, it's Dewey out.